that we receive the chairperson's report.
Yes, I move that we receive the chairperson's report for November.
And Graham will second.
Moved, seconded. Are there any questions of me? Okay, well, I'll put the resolution then. All those in favour will say aye.
Aye.
Contrary,
Aye.
no. That's carried. Okay, Graham's report.
Sorry. Can we just go back? I just missed the mover and the second for that
was
one.
moved, Julie, seconded Graham.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're now on to Graham's report. So I'll move that we receive the written report from Member Gunthorpe noting the attachment of the local board's feedback regarding the city central. We just need to wind up a bit to see exactly what it says. It was one of our submissions. And do we have a seconder for that? Yeah, the city centre Mangere Light Rail.
I'll second that.
Seconded Glenda. Graham, anything you want to say?
I don't think so. It was good to be able to talk earlier about the Local Board Transport Capital Fund. That's one I'm quite excited about. Although I will just mention there is a proposed pedestrian crossing for Williamson Ave. This is kind of in the Greyland East area. There's a number of bitsy kind of projects being raised by AT as well as the Rose Road Plaza. I am trying to get AT to approach it all in a joined up fashion so that not only is the contracting cheaper, but we're able to make sure there is, dare I say, a holistic view in Greyland East. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions of Graham? If not, I'll put it. Those in favour will say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary, no.
Aye.
That's carried. Right. Alex, your report. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, just it's a relatively short report for me because I've been mainly working on the enabling supply submission, but there have been some proposals that have come through to us, like in Regina Street, where we have 5 new dwellings on the very edge of Cox's Bay. All have sunlight. All have been positioned in such a way that they don't overlook each other. All of them look over green space. Hopefully they will be not as expensive as a villa. They probably won't be that far off, but it is a good way of getting some good quality housing there. That's what I'm hoping that we'll see more of. There's been some controversial applications as well. A boat shed proposed on Herne Bay Beach, which I've asked to be rejected as it's on public land. There's also been a proposal to do a large building in Parnell, a 6-story apartment building with no landscaping. I'm not entirely sure that this will lead to the best outcomes, will lead to significant traffic movements in Parnell. And it raises a slight concern that as we try to push parking and driving in the city centre, that companies will move just slightly outside to avoid that and just divert huge amounts of traffic into places like Parnell and the inner suburbs. And I think we should just be on our guard about that. And I just wanted to thank Graham for talking about going up and garden space. Back to the submission on enabling housing supply, we very, very much encourage the use of perimeter block housing, which did sort of what Graham suggested, which is going to the side, no setback, going closer to the front, but having big shed garden space behind that has worked so well in many European cities and also in Freeman's Bay. I know that Graham supports the bill, but I am very, very uncomfortable with how that bill is being pushed through very quickly without consultation with councils or planners in advance. And so as it currently stands, I think it could end up with awful outcomes. I very, very much hope that it can be pulled into a really good bill, which it potentially could, but it will need a lot of changes to do it. At the moment, leaflets are being dropped into larger sections in the outer suburbs, suggesting that people sell so there can be more building in the outer suburbs. When what we really want to see is quality housing close to public transport links. So just reiterating that again. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions of Alex? Okay, verbal reports. Adriana.
Kia ora. Well, first, I feel like I should acknowledge some community members that have been doing quite a lot of work in their own local parks. Mark Van Cathoven, Wendy, Bruce. Now we have obviously Sarah Smith-Kennedy that has been doing a lot of work. Sorry, I might close the door because someone's talking behind me. Sorry about that. Now, I am happy to let everyone know that the park in Grafton, Outhwaite Park, the playground has been finalized. The car park, not yet. I have gone myself to play, typical playground behavior. So it's been actually really fun to enjoy and see how popular that playground is now compared to how it was when it was a smaller playground. There is a new playground in Freeman's Bay. We've been talking with residents in Freeman's Bay to see if we can expand the footprint and the methodology that Mark Van Cathoven is doing in that park to Harry Dempsey Reserve. I feel that there is quite a lot of people that are feeling very inspired by the positive effects that planting and growing and interacting with pollinators have. So there has been a huge demand. I'm sure you've seen Jesse Mulligan's interview for Bruce. That was a beautiful moment, as now I'm seeing that there's other community groups across Waitemata and Tamaki Makaurau that they're wanting to implement this. Hopefully, that reminds me that I was going to mention Andrea Reid. Before I was elected onto the board 2 terms ago, Andrea was wanting to start a pollinator path project, and it's been a while to be able to identify spots where we can do it and to get a memorandum of understanding. And I am pleased to let you all know that that is actually tracking along, and Andrea is about to scout some parts that can be small butterfly and bee sanctuary. So that's fabulous that we're actually doing that. And now I have quite a number of residents in Orange Hill that want to start implementing those methodologies. I'm thinking of maybe running a speaker series so that we could meet Mark and Wendy and Andrea in their specific little parks that they have kaitiaki for, and us members of the public can go and ask them questions and learn from them. Obviously, there is quite a lot of things that they do differently between each park, and I feel that it's really interesting to see how it benefits, our whenua. I have also been pretty much out of my own initiative reaching out to all the business associations and just connecting to see if I can be of support for them, filling in for the economic development role. Obviously, the bid policy review is something that they're quite concerned about, and they've been waiting to hear from the bid policy team. So I will be reaching out to Desley Simpson and finding a way to us to speed up the process or to find some common understandings on how this bid can actually work. And now I have worked on my report. I have worked on my report. I'm having some technical glitches because I did an interview for Mark, and so it will be up on my website soon, and I will be stipulating the landowner approvals that I've done and the filming that I have approved as well, because I have been pretty busy on that side as well. So, yeah, questions?
No questions, but good work, Adriana. I think, Richard, the chair's food's arrived. So
yes, that's right.
Oh, you're back.
Yes, I'm back. Okay, Julie?
So I tabled a report at the start of this meeting, which you guys can have a look at and which I guess can be attached for the next meeting. It talks about the submissions in the environment space that we've discussed during this meeting. Also, initially Graham was the board member on the Wynyard Quarter Transport Management Association. I took over from him when life got in the way, and now life has gotten in the way, so he's taking that back over. So just a word of thanks and an acknowledgement of how much I enjoyed being on that while I got to be. And then just on a practical note, we've got a special meeting on the 30th of November, but I'm unable to make it, so just giving my apologies now.
Any questions of Julie? Right, thank you. Corinne?
Kia ora everyone, just very brief. So with our Māori outcomes, I continue to advocate for us to have a Māori outcomes broker on the local board. So that's been really good to continue to kōrero about that in the future. We have our Mana Whenua Forum, our online Zoom, that will be happening early next month, and continue to plan our Mana Whenua Hui early next year. In terms of my arts portfolio, it's just been great to see that TAPAC and other organisations have been having online good. So, a lot of the organisations have just been able to adapt to doing online events, Art Week exhibitions in the city centre. So that's been really good that a lot of those have gone ahead, and the Aotearoa Art Fair has been online. I'll just add in there that they did have a separate tent online for items under $5,000, which is great to see. Now, in addition to that, I've also been working on the COVID City Centre issues. So alongside Helen White, some of the other board members have been coming along as well. In particular, our most recent one, I was able to invite the Auckland District Health Board Chair, Pat Snedden, as well as Tui from Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, who is heading the vaccinations across the city centre. So I think it's been really good to just work alongside these really key health organisations during these really challenging times, and we've been having weekly meetings online with Helen, with the CCRG, City Centre Residents Group, and other members of Body Corporate Management. So that's a brief on what I've been up to. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, I'll move that the board receive the written report from Member Bonham and the verbal update